Basically, tell me a little bit about when you started Kennesaw and how you found out about student media.
I'm not sure I remember exactly. I was in the MAPW program. I was a mom with 2 young children. And I think I must have just picked up a copy of the Sentinel that was lying around and seeing that they needed copy editors. I'm not sure they even advertised for copy editors. I think I just saw mistakes. So I went into student life and met Ed. Ed at the time, I think Court Peterson was the editor of Sentinel at the time, and said, actually I went in and they asked me to be a writer. I said, I don't really want to write, I don't want to interview. I want to be a copy editor. And Court said, if you write a couple articles, then I'll let you copy edit anything you want. I said, okay. So I was with them probably from 2000 in the summer. In 2001, I know I was there for 9/11. And I was sort of hung around. I stayed up late Tuesday nights when they were prepping the articles. I just was sort of a hang-around person all the time. And Ed Bonzo said, hey, the magazine has gone away. There was a person who was going to pick it up. She renamed it Sphere, and then she vanished. And Ed said, we'd like to get the feature magazine back. How about you? And I went across to MAPW, and they said, you can get credit. And I said, great. 6 credit hours, work for a year, get a little money. And that's kind of how I fell into it. So I was just kind of in the right place at the right time and in the mood to do that kind of work.
And so you were in the Masters of Professional Writing program at the time. You
Correct.
were a graduate student.
I was a graduate student.
Not realize.
Ed tells me I'm the first graduate student who did that. And again, it's really because I fell in with the group at the Sentinel. All great guys, great people, excuse me. All great people over at the Sentinel, very encouraging, a fun atmosphere. We were paid, but that was not really the point.
Were you paid to copy edit the Sentinel, or was that just?
Yes, I feel like it was something like $5 or $10 a week or an issue. And that was, again, I wasn't doing it for the money. The money's nice, but I was doing it because I wanted the newspaper to look good. I want to be part of that team and have it look good.
And so then when Ed said to bring Talon back, was that during the summer? Your first issue was summer 2000?
It was 2002, so I feel like I must have, the fall of 2001, have gone to MAPW and make sure I could get the credits for it. As much as I liked doing it, I wanted there to be another benefit too. I mean, education was a big deal, getting those 6 credits. And I thought perhaps I wanted to do magazine and feature writing when I graduated.
And then you went before the editorial board?
Yes, and I have to tell you, I don't remember. I've been to other interviews for other people, so I'm sure I went before the board, but it must have been very quick. There were no other candidates.
Oh, you were the only one?
Yeah, because it was a brand new thing. In fact, we actually mentioned in the very beginning of the first issue of My Talon, we hadn't officially changed the name. We told Sayback we were going to change the name, and they said, okay, let's see how it goes.
I did see that. And did you chose not to change the name?
I did.
Or
It was Sphere. Okay, so I believe Talisman was the original magazine. I don't know too much of the history. The person before me came in, renamed it Sphere, made T-shirts, and never produced a magazine. So I said, I don't like Sphere, and I want something very owl, a little bit of a more of a hook, as it were. And so we went with Talon.
So you chose the name Talon.
I did.
Ah.
I am the first editor of Talon. I'm the one who, it was, I don't know how long it was gone before I got there, but I brought it back. And I made that, I got that office. I hung up all the old issues I could find. Like I feel like I made Talon be a thing that's still around. In fact, I was a little amazed, but very happy when I got back on campus when I got rehired last year and saw that Talon was still there. I'm like, ooh, that's mine.
I didn't realize that either. So then you just wanted something that relates more to owl.
I wanted owl, and in fact, and we also had T-shirts, and I'm sorry, I could not find one. I believe my ex-husband has them. It said something like "Get Hooked by Talon" or "Get Hooked." I mean, I was trying for a stronger name and something that was very owl. So let me just tell you, and this comes of my own personal issues. I went and cleaned out that whole room. I took everything off the walls. It was a mess. Like she had started, and I'm sorry, I forget her name. I don't know her name. I cleaned out the room altogether. I put up a bunch of empty folders on the walls, like fresh start, let's go. I begged the people I knew on Sentinel to help me. Aaron Ryan was, I believe, my first assistant editor. We took, the first issue has, I think, maybe 8 articles, of which 4 are by me. One is Best of the Sentinel, we just got a few other people who had written things, and sort of, the first one was quick. The idea was to get something put together as quickly as we could with, interesting stuff, feature magazine sort of thing. So I virtually had no staff the first time. The second semester, I again found people I knew from the Sentinel and said, I can offer you credit and a little bit of money. And just kind of drew on the people I knew in that space. We did advertise in the magazine, but I'm not sure that we really got much response. Ed was tremendously helpful here. I knew some people from MHPW. In fact, one of them helped me, Teresa Valentine. But I think a lot of it was Ed beating the bushes.
And then as far as the budget for the magazine, did they just sit you down and say you have X number of dollars you can offer your managing editor?
Yeah, and a lot of this, I have to tell you, a lot of this was Ed. I went to SABAC and I requested the money that was sitting there. Money had been sitting there waiting for us to use. But I wasn't really involved in the budgeting process. Ed pretty much said, this is your money, go justify it. And so I went to SABAC and said, we're starting back up. We know that you gave money to Sphere before and they blew it, but that's not going to happen this time. We've done the first issue. You can see we're going to produce. We're going to try for 2 more issues at least and go forward with the high quality magazine. We'd like to do the high gloss. So I had to go with the money that was there, but I had to go justify to SABAC why we should have it.
And did you have to be involved with finding a printer, or did Ed do
No, this is Ed. In fact, on the back page